Hello and welcome to Appendix video about the SCAR L. At the beginning of the year I published a video in which I showed the plans for this year when I mentioned that there would be a lot of SCAR coming, the SCAR Heavy from VFC already done. Then I said the SCAR L and Heavy from WE will follow on and be published this year too. So this is a SCAR WE, and unfortunately it's a failure in the sense that I tried to convert it to this TheFrogEngineering system, and it is not really possible. This is due to the characteristics of the SCAR, how the hop-up chamber is made. I thought that it would be feasible. Actually, I built some PDW KAC gun, one-time built some years ago using the WE conversion, and I thought that for the WE it would be basically the same kind of process, but I learned that the internals are organized a little different, and though one magazine for WE fits to all these guns, the same conversion won't. The main issue is that WE positions the feeding lips not in the front of magazine like every single producer of the GBBRs, but offset it to the rear. For this reason the hop-up chamber is more to the rear, and there is no space in the gun for the TheFrogEngineering magazine with the feeding lips on the front. So that was an issue. Did my best, but for now SCAR L, and the same goes for SCAR Heavy from WE, is a no-go. So the WE SCARs are basically a failure, and this would be over for the SCAR project, right? But I thought about this, and as I promised I will do all the GBBR SCARs this year. I felt a little, let's say, unsettled, as I wanted to give you some possibility of using SCAR L on the GBBR version, right? And I found a solution actually. So you can ask what this nice L119A2 from HAO has in common with the idea of making conversions for the SCARs, and the answer is pretty simple: MWS. So for now on the market we have actually two SCAR Heavy GBBRs and two SCAR Light GBBRs. One Heavy is already converted, as I said, and the second one, Light, because WE was not possible, is the guns Modify in MWS system. So I decided I will try to convert the SCAR Light from guns Modify using the same MWS second generation conversion as for the all MWS guns. I thought this will be a little risky. When I disassembled the gun and I saw that it will be fine, I was really happy, because that's what I can bring to you. This is the guns modified SCAR L MWS on HPA. So in this video, because the manual for the MWS conversion basically doesn't change, it's exactly the same as it was for the M4s, I will just focus on the differences between the assembly for the SCAR from GM. So if you watch it and you watch the previous videos about the assembly of the MWS conversion, you will learn all the details and be able to build yourself a GM SCAR L GBBR on HPA. Here the Gen 2 conversion, I already prepared it using the parts from the magazine or an aftermarket valve and a gasket, up to you. And this conversion will not come with the quick connector but the screwed connector, because similarly to the integrated trigger guard metal bodies, this plastic body has integrated trigger guard, so we will do the same kind of thing by taping the hose to it, and to avoid some sealing issues, it's better to have the screw connector. This is the only difference. Other than this, the kit will come one-to-one the same, and the kit will come with 3 mags. This is 8.1 SCAR ready version, because for the SCAR we have a bit longer opening here on the rear. Normally it was ending on this height, on the top of this rib. Now it has to go to the bottom of this rib, because if I insert the gun and fully seat it, you see that there is barely any space for the hose. So later we will make a groove here, and half of the hose will be in the groove and half will go through that cutout in the magazine. So this is the reason why for the SCAR you need the SCAR ready magazine. However, every single old magazine, if you basically file the shell at 45 degrees angle, the diameter as this gap, it will fit. Yeah, of course you can, when you have the scar and you have the hose in, you can check it and fit it yourself. Let's get started. For now I believe I said everything. There will be standard steps of the assembly. Stock magazine can be used to extract the valve and the gasket from the top, just like you do with every TM mag for the frog engineering conversion. Or, as I already said, you can just buy some aftermarket parts for the MWS, the valve and the gasket, which I did, and I have my conversion ready here. Assembly is one-to-one the same as always. We will be modifying the trigger box, adding holes in the lower receiver, routing the hose for the pistol grip, and filing off just a small bit of the rib on the hop-up chamber. Again, the same as for any other MWS conversion, just in a scar setup. So let's start with the receiver. We need to push out the pin. It's a little stiff at the beginning. The upper receiver we can put aside. And here the first difference to the VFC scar, it's MWS system, obviously not the VFC copy of the real scar, so we disassemble it a little bit, but actually same way as all the MWSs. So we need to take out the fire selector. So for this we unscrew one of the sides, and then we can pull out one of the levers, and when we press on it and just rotate it and pull it, the fire selector will come out. Then there is a screw here in the rear, again just as any other MWS. Bam, screw is out. Next step, we need to remove the mag catch. There is a screw in the button accessible here from the top, same kind of screw as we had in the fire selector. So the button, spring, screw and the lever all are out. And then the last thing is the pin here, which is the trigger pin. Like in all the MWSs, just pull it out, and when you do all these steps you will be able to slowly wiggle out the trigger box. Okay, and it came out. It's a bit different than regular MWS boxes. It has the scar bolt catch, and it has this full auto sear extension, let's call it, that is attached here. It's kind of similar to the design of the Toxicant, but Toxicant has here, in the MC axis I mean, has the axis for rotation here, and in the scar the axis for rotation is actually here. Of course internally it will be different, the trigger is different, also the safety is 45 degrees, not like in WE copied from M4, because they use M4 trigger boxes. Here it's like the real gun. So the fire selector and internal pulse would be a little different, but this is Guns Modify, great quality, probably you don't need to interfere with it at all. And there is one surprise: if you look into the receiver right now, you will see the writing. Don't need and shouldn't take out this frame. So this is kind of funny. I had some doubts if this will be possible to attach the conversion, because it's screwed on the rear in this exact area, right? So we will drop it in later and add some holes to screw it down. And in the first generation it was just pressed, in the second generation it's screwed, but both pressing and screwing to the plastic probably would not work and it would break out sooner or later. So I got this car not knowing if this has like chance even to work, but luckily I removed the trigger box and I saw a nice solid piece of aluminium in here, and now I'm certain that we will convert it successfully. This is actually the first gun I convert. It will stay with me, it's, let's say, mine, so I'm also pretty interested in the result. And what we also could do right now is to take off the pistol grip, because then we will be routing here through the trigger guard, similarly like we did in VFC. We'll have to put the hose into the pistol grip and so on. And as this is my private gun, I will be putting here a different pistol grip, but regardless of it, I will need to have access and drill through the pistol grip. So let's remove it. Like in all the GBBRs, one screw deep there, just loosen it completely. Comes out, and the insert with thread also comes out. The way they created this insert is a little nicer than in the MWSs normally. I will screw it on not to lose it, because it's not a hex nut that could wear out pretty quickly. It's actually square. For me it's better solution. Later my Mk2 grip will go on here. We can quickly check it fits perfectly, and it will be very, very nice. Okay, so we'll do it later. We follow the MWS steps, so we will need to do 3 things. Cut out, as in the MWS video here, in the trigger box. We will need to drill holes here for conversion assembly. So we'll put in the mag, put in the conversion, then find where the holes should be, drill them and thread them. And you can see these holes are plus minus in line with this cutout here. So if we look down, it's plus minus here, so there should be a lot of plastic underneath, so long screws from our conversion will be fine. And then the last thing is we also need to route the path here through the trigger guard, and I'll do it like this, so that here I will follow the shape of the trigger guard to keep at least 0.5 millimeter thickness of the trigger guard, and here I will go deep so that the hose can hide and not disturb my hand. And here also I will follow that curve so that the hose goes like this, deeper inside, and also doesn't disturb mag insertion, yeah? So that here I will have enough space for that hose to be hidden. Okay, I'll do all the 3 steps off camera. I'll show you the result. This is pretty standard, as I said, nothing fancy here, nothing new. Be back with the result in a moment. So my parts are ready and waiting. The trigger box with a cutout, conversion, I already connected the hose, this is the time to do it. Here 2 holes with a thread. So the thread is pretty solid, this aluminum plate is really good quality, no issue here. And then on the bottom the groove for the hose. You will see later how it is done. With the plate, just be careful not to drill through the plastic, because if you drill through the aluminum then it's pretty easy, you know, to go through. Okay, so the conversion will go in. Bam, screws are in. And it's really like solid, yeah? It doesn't move at all. It will be just fine, and the hose will be taped later here. Okay, but the hose we don't care about at the moment. Then the next one is the trigger box. So make sure all the parts you need are here. Okay, it went in nicely. Let's start with the pin. You see the fitting is really good. I pushed it with my hands, and I think the lever is fine. I have the low and high levers here. You know, they are included in the kit. This is the medium lever, but like looking at it, probably it will work just fine. Okay, the rear screw. Now I'll go for fire selector. So we have to make space for it. It won't go through on its own. So let's move aside everything that's blocking the path. Okay, and then while rotating it, you see it comes in. Then the other side, the screw, we remember. And last part is the mag catch. So bam, the spring, bam, the button, bam. With the button you need to orient it properly, because the hole goes through, but only on one side it has the thread, yeah? So on the other side the screw will not catch. Okay, all the way, and the lower receiver is reassembled. in these steps I also assembled the pistol grip. I made a hole in it already. So I have the screw in position, just screw it in, and for the moment we are okay. We can try the mag. Yeah, all works. Yeah, so now we will do something about the hose. What I'm gonna do actually is like hit it with a heat gun, hold it in this shape that I want it to stay in for a moment, and then it will not be sticking out that much, and then I will tape it. Again, I'll show the result afterwards. As the receiver is ready, of course the hose finishing for later, we will switch to the upper. With the upper we will need to get to the chamber, but we don't necessarily need to remove it, I think. Okay, so you see what I'm doing. First the stock to the bottom, then the spring guide, right? Then I pulled the charging handle to the rear and to a position where I was able to release it, and then I can pull out the complete bolt carrier group. Okay, and the issue is in the same place as in other MWS guns for TheFrogEngineer, which is this tiny extension of this rib here that we don't want. So just file it off to be smooth with that flat black surface and it will be fine. I'll be back with it done in a sec. Evened it out, yeah, no issue here. So now just put everything back together and finalize the hose, and I will be back with the ready assembled gun. And here we are with the finished Guns Modify SCAR. You see I taped the hose like I said I would. I replaced the pistol grip with the K2, routed the hose out traditional way. So if you follow any video for the MWS, the best is to watch the M4 assembly video, then the Gen 2 video, and this another short frog appendix regarding the SCAR. Definitely you will know how to assemble it correctly. Yeah, so just, you know, last step to show you. I will remove the magazine now. To connect the pressure you need to put the gun on safe. If you cannot put the gun on safe, like I am not able right now, it means that the valve is open because the hammer is not cocked. So we pull the charging handle, we cock the hammer, now we are able to put the safe, yeah, and we can connect the pressure. Maximum, as always with MWS and all other conversions, 150 psi, depending on the tolerances. I would limit it to 145. Okay, then connect the pressure. Okay, after you connect the pressure, you can listen for any hissing. Everything's fine. If yes, then, and let's see and feel how it shoots. It's not kicking as strong, let's say, as you might expect. It's more like softer because of these buffer springs. Yeah, there is like return spring and a buffer on another spring, so you really feel it. Though, like for the MWS, I would say it kicks really nicely. Let's try the full auto. That's a nice rate of fire. And I'll test also the bolt catch function. So empty mag. Okay, all works. We can simulate full auto by holding the bolt catch down and releasing after a few shots, so that we observe the bolt catch function. So the SCAR is fully functional. Nice. So this way we assembled the Guns Modify SCAR in MWS system using standard Gen 2 conversion from TheFrogEngineer. HPA works really nicely. This gun in stock has 1 joule on 120 psi redline mini SFR. It's extremely stable and it shoots really nice. Yeah, of course, if you want more, you can up the pressure, do the NPAS, replace the barrel, standard stuff. But for the SCAR, that's all. Definitely there would be more videos in the future about some upgrades or whatever I will find out about the gun when I practice with it. And this way we finish our adventure with scars for now. One light, one heavy, and we are moving to the next projects. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, all the good stuff, and may the power of GBBR be with you.